But right now, based on everything that she's shown us, let's bring in Los Angeles, California, body language expert, forensic psychiatrist, trial expert, witness, columnist of Inside the Criminal Mind, Dr. Carole Lieberman with us. Dr. Lieberman, great to see you tonight. And I'm fascinated by what he's saying and how he's saying it, but I want to know what you're hearing from Alec Murdaugh, both in the body cam audio that we heard and the 911 call. What are you hearing in his voice? What is significant in how he's saying it and what he's saying to you?
Yes, well, as far as the 911 call, I don't think it sounds real. I don't think it sounds authentic. But as far as, how he looks in the courtroom when all of this testimony was being given, it's interesting. The prosecution was making a deal out of the fact that he wasn't at the crime scene. He wasn't crying. There were no tears, no real tears. And in the courtroom, he, wipes away tears. There are real tears. His face is red. So I think that he really was crying, but it wasn't for his son and his wife. I think it was for himself. He was feeling sorry for himself that is in this mess, and that there's, bringing on all this evidence.
What's your take on his lead, though, right? In journalism, there's always like the lead, right? What you start with is the most important. And prosecutors are making a big deal about the fact that he's leading with the boat crash, like right out of the box. The responders coming to the scene, his wife and his son on the ground, and he's talking about the boat crash being the motive. That's what this is all related to.
Yes. Even though I think he was he had been taking drugs for quite some time, so that was impairing his brain. But at the same time, I think he had planned out so cleverly so much of what was there. Starting with having the story about the boat crash and blaming it on that. And, that is sort of a plausible thing. You would think that, yes, if there's proof that he has been getting hit or, and getting threats and so on, then yes, that would seem like a plausible thing. But the fact that he brings it up right at the beginning, instead of being really honestly upset about his wife and his son, is something that he had planned before he allegedly did all of this to begin with. He was going to blame it on the boat accident.
It does, and I know that's where prosecutors are going with what they're saying. Anything else that you notice from his tone, the way he was reacting at the scene?
Well, yes, he was he had a high-pitched voice. It was just bad acting. It's like what he thought you're supposed to be like when you see your wife and your son dead, and not just dead, but such an incredibly violent scene, gruesome scene, their brains splattered all over. And so I think he was, they thought to himself, well, how would a person act? How are they supposed to act, a husband and a father, if they saw this kind of thing? Also, in terms of body language in the court, at times he's rocking back and forth, and that's a self-soothing action. And also he's like chewing sometimes, and I don't know if that's because he has gum in his mouth or he's chewing the sides of his mouth, but it's anxiety.
Dr. Carole Lieberman, great insight tonight. Thank you so much for helping us out.
Thank you.